Hey everyone, my name is Ford from NorCal Thrills, and today I'm bringing you an update from California's Great America for September 30th, 2022. This weekend is the second weekend of the all-new Tricks and Treats Festival at Great America, and I'm here to bring you coverage of the event. We'll go through the park, check out all of the lands of tricks and treats, and what's going on in each of them. To give my opinion ahead of time, I walked away really impressed. I think I like this event more than Haunt, but I'll say more later on. But the update around Tricks and Treats will be followed by a couple of quick miscellaneous updates, including a very interesting wall put up over by the markings we talked about in our last video. Let's get started. Let's go counterclockwise around the park and talk about what we can find in each land of Tricks and Treats. First, as you enter the park, you'll see the entrance all decorated for the season with signs pointing you to the other lands. Behind the carousel is a stage that shows a variety of shows throughout the night. The one that I caught ended up as a costume contest for kids. As you continue along, you get to the normal hometown square, which has become Everfall, a land of treats. The area has the normal stage set up at the front of the Great America Theater, which shows the Great Craft Off. Throughout the area is a series of activities for the kids, including gorgeous gourds and kindness rocks, letting kids decorate little pumpkins and rocks respectively. There's also a little corn maze for kids to play in. The land is beautifully decorated with the classic pumpkins and fall colors that you'd expect for the time of the year. Continuing on, we get to Sweet Tooth Acres, which is also a land of treats. This zone takes place primarily in the normal county fair area. The area is themed, as you'd expect, with a bunch of oversized candy. The main draw here is the trick-or-treat trail. Kids can go to a number of little doors, knock, and get some candy from employees. It's a really cute idea that kids seem to be really enjoying. I didn't get a ton of video of it, but there's also a horn band here that wanders the area, serenading people with horn covers of popular songs. Next up is the first land of tricks, Ickyville. This takes place in the All-American Corners section of the park. This area is supposed to kind of be the gross area of the park, and it lives up to it, with some of the rides getting temporarily renamed to Filthy Fly Flyers, Liberty Hurler, Booger Flicker, and my personal favorite, Centrifugal Farts. Otherwise, the area kind of has a generic toxic waste theme with chain link fence and barrels comprising most of the theming. The entertainment area is the Snots, a cover band, and the Gross Out Gauntlet, which appears to be some sort of Fear Factor type game show, but it was unfortunately closed during my visit. There are also a couple of activity stations set up and a handful of midway games throughout the area. Interestingly, there was also Slime Works that was set up in the Kids Stuff Outfitters store that lets kids buy and make slime to the delight of their parents, I'm sure. The final area we'll talk about is Spooky Spires. This takes place in Orland's Place and is a land of tricks. It definitely feels a little darker and more classically creepy with kind of more fog and tombstones. Some of the entertainment here includes the Spectral Sisters and the Disco Cryptyard. The latter is interesting and is a silent disco where you can check out a set of headphones and dance to the music that plays in the headphones, all synchronized with others. Of interest to the adults in the area is the new Blood Bank Bar, which serves an array of interesting cocktails and has some very cool atmosphere. To give a little general info about the event, most of the rides are open, including the bigger roller coasters, for kids and adults to enjoy. Most of the cafes through the park have special Halloween-only items that look delicious. Overall, I was really impressed with the event. I loved the 4 different areas throughout the park and how they looked and felt totally different from each other. I loved all the different kinds of entertainment for kids. I'm a big Halloween fan, but I think this event might be better than Haunt. Definitely check it out if you can. A couple of quick smaller updates from around the park. Unfortunately, the former Wax Museum Haunt is finally taken down. Not surprising, I guess, but I was hoping that it would be used in a much less scary fashion for Tricks and Treats. The Planet Snoopy Annex was interestingly closed during my visit. It could just be because it was a Friday night that I visited, but it's interesting to have a bunch of kids' rides closed in a more family-focused event. Finally, the coolest news is undoubtedly the fact that there's a new wall up near Drop Tower. Remember how we talked about all the markings around Drop Tower last month? Well, this work wall is over some of those markings. It also brings some new markers of its own. Again, we still don't know what it is, and it's likely to be nothing, but we'll keep our eyes out and let you know if anything changes. And that'll wrap up our update for the day. In this update, we talked through all of the new happenings for the Tricks and Treats Festival and some other smaller updates, including some very interesting new walls near Drop Tower. I really do recommend visiting the park for Tricks and Treats if you haven't already. It's such a cute event and is a nice change of pace from the more hardcore Halloween haunt event. Definitely make it out if you can. Next update will be in mid-November as we check out what the park looks like after Halloween is over.